Top-down Zelda started in 1986 when we received The Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was one of the first of its kind, being open world and giving you the ability to just drop in the game with zero direction, placing a heavy emphasis on exploration. That's right, they wanted you to buy the Nintendo Power subscription. Many people became obsessed with the game being one of a kind. Our hero Link sets out to restore peace to the Kingdom of Hyrule after the evil demon Ganon captures Princess Zelda. You explore the vast fantasy world of Hyrule and its dungeons in the game, collecting a piece of the Triforce in each dungeon. Once you do that, you go fight Ganon. Regardless of the nature of the game, it was very well received by the public, demanding a sequel. We received Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. We all know how that turned out, though. Later on, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past released on the Super Nintendo. Just like the original game, this game places a heavy emphasis on exploration and action. The game received massive amounts of upgrades such as new items, new bosses, complex puzzle elements, and improved graphics. The game sold incredibly well and received massive amounts of praise. Over time, the series became wildly popular over many Nintendo platforms. Zelda eventually evolved to 3D on the Nintendo 64 in 1996. This is where the fanbase divided on which Zelda game is the best, many citing 2D Zelda being far superior. Nintendo saw the massive success of both 2D and 3D Zelda. 2D Zelda primarily for the handheld platforms, and 3D Zelda for home consoles. Nintendo did not fail to deliver on a high volume of Zelda games, and over time, however, it sort of felt as if 3D Zelda had killed 2D Zelda, as we all saw the quality 3D Zelda was far superior. There is no doubt that Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D were far superior to Minish Cap, Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass. These 2D Zelda games just didn't hit like The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, however. Nintendo recognized this and gave the go-ahead on a successor to A Link to the Past. It was titled The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. It was released on the Nintendo 3DS. The game had become legendary, seeing universal acclaim. It was the second highest 3DS game on Metacritic at the time also. Overall sales led 2.5 million very quickly. It was a resurgence for top-down Zelda. It was the savior top-down Zelda needed. Later on in 2017, Nintendo launched their next home console, named the Nintendo Switch. Along with the Switch, we received The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The anticipation leading up to this game was intense, as the current state of Nintendo, after the failure of the Wii U, people were actually worried about what would happen. Not to mention, Zelda Breath of the Wild kept getting delayed time and time again. When launch day came around, it reinvented their game series we know as Zelda, changing the entire conventional formula. It was a stunningly gorgeous game using cel-shaded graphics. This game set zero limitations from the very beginning when you start up the game for the first time, as you can literally go straight to the final boss and beat the game. The endless exploration in this game and new content sent it soaring in the sales numbers. Nintendo took a gamble with this game and a new console, paying off big time. It is now an evergreen title, selling over 16 million copies as of December 2019. But much to our surprise, Nintendo did not forget top-down Zelda. I was worried that even after Zelda: Link Between Worlds on 3DS, that Breath of the Wild had officially killed 2D Zelda, or top-down Zelda. The atmosphere of Zelda Breath of the Wild was too much to bear compared to top-down Zelda. In 2019, Nintendo announced in a Nintendo Direct that Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening would be receiving a remake, an original Game Boy game being remade for Nintendo Switch, and not to mention it was a top-down Zelda game. Just like we saw with the 3DS entry of Zelda, it performed well in sales number and to critical acclaim. The most important part of this game being that I believe it sent a message straight to Nintendo Japan. That message being, there is still a market for top-down Zelda. Open world 3D Zelda is obviously necessary and has its place, but top-down Zelda is necessary as well. It appeals to a wide variety of gamers who will never forget the original on the NES, 35 years later, and we still need this by all means. Heck, I would even accept remakes of other top-down Zelda games, like A Link to the Past. There is too much potential that you can easily tap into. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to see more game-related content. You can also follow me on Mixer with the link below, where I live stream video games Sunday through Wednesday each week.